Why do people choose to call Colombia home? On this week's episode of the Como 411, we will take a visit and get a taste of a local authentic Cuban restaurant and hear about their journey to get here and call this place home. We'll meet a woman working behind the scenes to welcome people to Colombia from across the world. And we'll learn about an opportunity for anyone to get involved with neighbors serving neighbors. When I think of home, one of my favorite memories is always the food that I grew up with. Just the different flavors and tastes and smells just takes me right back there. So I love food. And so I love it when I find an authentic restaurant that I believe probably has a backstory. And I found that restaurant downtown Columbia on 9th Street at Sagua Grande Cuban Cafe. And so I wondered how a Kung Fu master from Springfield and a political refugee from Cuba ended up here calling Colombia home. Greg, tell me a little bit about how you got to Colombia.
So I started a group here in Colombia back in 2000.
Okay.
Definitely fell in love with the town, versus Springfield. Liked it way better. I always had a part-time job cooking because I, raised the kids on my own. And then sooner or later, took some culinary classes and tried to get better jobs through kitchen management. One of my first jobs actually was working with Katy here.
And Katy, how did you end up to Colombia all the way from Cuba?
I come from Cuba to Dallas, Texas, a refugee. So I go to Dallas, Texas, living there for a lot of years. So I'm coming over here to visit some friends in Colombia. And I like the place. I work in some place, can be this beautiful guy.
Oh, this beautiful guy, I love it.
And the time is perfect. Everybody asking, why Colombia? I don't know, I think it's the time.
Katy and I were like, well, you got the, the GM and the kitchen manager stuff, and, she's been a sous chef and a head chef. We were tired of making other people money, basically.
Yeah, understood.
And so even though it's a, struggle right now, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep introducing Cuban cuisine to Colombia and the rest of Central Missouri.
That's what we need.
Educate the people.
That's right. Educate the people on the food that you grew up on.
And always I wanted doing this. This is my big, huge, giant dreams.
Okay.
The my own food, and it's 100% Cuban.
I love it.
You need to try it. So when you try it, you never be wrong.
Well, that's good, because when I come here, I normally always order the same thing, right? But today, I'm very excited because Katy is going to share one of her recipes, maybe a 2-in-1, she said, with us. And we are going to head back to the kitchen. And Katy, what are you going to show us today?
So I'll show you how I do it like papas rellenas.
Okay.
And how I do in the picadillo.
Okay. All right. So we're learning.
All that together is explosion flavors.
Oh, an explosion of flavors. Well, we can't wait. We're going to head back to the kitchen and get started on that. So Katy, thank you first of all for letting us into your kitchen. I'm sure you're very protective over what happens back here. Am.
Yes,
I know you are. Can you tell me what is in this pot of deliciousness? It looks amazing.
This one is basically ground beef. So I marinate the ground beef and I season it with the garlic and onions and peppers, better orange, very important, better orange.
Okay.
Lime juice.
Okay.
And you put little salt and black pepper, tomato paste,
okay,
raisins, and green olive. And with this one, I was doing papas rellenas and empanadas.
Tell us what's happening over here. You've got mashed potato.
It's mashed potato. This one is mashed potato, but it's not cooking the potato all the way through like a mashed potato.
Okay. So not all the way through.
Like a little more hard. So you smash it, you let it cooling down.
Okay, I'm doing what you're doing, except I'm making a mess and you're
it's okay. That is fun. So, and I put in my palm, and so I try like.
Okay.
This is 2 ounces.
Okay, 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I push and I try closing, slow by slow.
Okay.
And
Is that okay? I got what? I'm getting it.
I give it this here. And now?
Okay.
You put in the eggs and the bread now.
Okay.
And you like it pounding a little bit like like it's your baby.
Like it's my baby.
Yeah, so the rest of the bread, you take it off, Already here, already made, and already cold.
Oh,
This is how it's cooling down. And you deep fry. It's good.
Yes.
People love that one. So having the plate, 1 potato, 1 papas rellena, 2 empanadas, and 2 croquettes.
Okay.
It's completely different, but it's like a sample plate.
Yes.
And the people love that one.
Well, that's when next time I come in here for lunch, that's my plan, to get the sample plate.
You need to switch. You need to try everything.
Well, Katy, thank you so much for having us in your kitchen, for showing us your wonderful recipes, and thank you for bringing your authentic self to Colombia. Thank you for bringing your heritage. It's one thing that I love is to meet a business owner that brings themselves fully into what they do every day. And that is what you get here at this restaurant. So please, please take a moment to come down to 9th Street and visit Katy and Greg and chat with them. And do not forget to taste everything on the menu.
So please coming over here. It's welcome. This is home. Think it's your house.
And we welcome you. Katy welcomes you into her house.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, you guys.
Of course. Many people are used to people who move here and call Colombia home from 2 to 3 hours away. What you may not realize is there is a large population of people who call Colombia home, and they are originally from halfway around the world. They face significant challenges when moving to a place like Colombia, and one of the organizations that is helping them to get settled in and call this place home is Granny's House. Granny's House was started by Granny Pam Ingram back in 2000, and one person that she depended on to help bridge the gap was Caritas.
Yes.
And Caritas, can you tell us a little bit about how you helped become what I call the bridge between those families and Colombia?
Yes, we are refugees. I am a refugee myself. I came here in 1994, surviving the genocide of Rwanda. Helping them and becoming a voice was what I had to do, because these people don't speak English. They don't know anything. So I had to get in and help. And that's how I started helping with public school, hospital, everything. And then Granny House.
Yes.
Granny House was serving children very traumatized coming from the war, but she didn't know their story. But I think she saw the story of this kid in their hearts. And she served them with all her heart. She loved them, a grandma, a mom, a sister, that even not only nurtured these children, even the parents that worked long hours, came from home evening time, but these children had somewhere to go.
Yes.
The Granny House.
Yeah.
To eat snack, to do homework, to have whatever they never even had in their lives.
Kids can get off their bus.
Volunteers are here, do your homework, eat, hugs.
Yes.
So these children, that's what they need the most, love, nurturing.
God, amazing. Granny Pam was a very special lady.
Very.
And the reason we're standing right here at this space is because this is the original home of Granny's House. Granny's House started in 304 and 302 Trinity Place, right here in these 2 apartments. They've been able to expand because there were so many kids to the beautiful space that we have right down the street. So we wanted you to see where Granny's House started, and now we'll get a chance to walk down the street and see where they are now.
Yeah.
So we are standing here now in the beautiful lower level of the new Granny's House, surrounded by all these beautiful faces of past Granny's House kids and present Granny's House kids. I love being in this space. I can feel the love here, and I know the kids love coming here after school. So tell me a little bit about the programming that happens here at Granny's House that helps with that transformation, because I know these kids face lots of challenges when they get here.
Yeah, imagine the parents don't speak the language. Who is going to read for these kids? Who is going to do homework with these kids? They are not home. They are at work. They work long hours. So this is the place. This is where everything is done.
Yeah.
This is the start of the life.
So Caritas, I know you mentioned that you were a refugee here 28 years ago. How did you feel when you first saw that initial, kind of flood of refugee children coming into this area? How did you feel?
Oh my God, even meeting these people, meeting the parents, I knew in my heart, I could see that they're not going to make it here. Not going to school, not knowing how to read and write. I was asking myself, how are they going to apply even for food stamps?
Yes.
And that's how I stepped in. So these children needed this. People we think is nothing, for us is big.
Yes.
Where a child can go, have somebody to do homework with him, read the book for these kids.
Yes.
And where do we start? There. And then we grow to be big citizens, And that's what they needed the most. The most. Granny is a place to start.
Yes, and we know now we have children, refugee children that started here at 9 or 10 years old or 7, and now they are college students.
Yes.
Some have graduated from college, scholarship students. Like, they are just amazing citizens.
Yes.
And we know that these organizations play a huge part. And you, as the bridge, play a huge part.
My goodness, very huge. Very huge.
And we hope that, the people who are watching this would know that their time, their talent, and their treasure is necessary to help organizations like this.
Yes.
And so that's what we encourage you to do.
Yes.
We encourage you to get involved in any way that you see fit to help everybody feel more comfortable in calling Columbia home.
Yes, thank you.
Neighbors helping neighbors is one of the things that makes calling Columbia home so special. And one organization that has that down pat is For Columbia. So I'm here with Shelly. Shelly, welcome to the Come On 411.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Good, we're glad to have you. So Shelly, give us the elevator pitch for Columbia. What is it for the people who might not be aware?
Sure. So For Columbia is an annual day of service coordinated by Christian churches here in town, where we serve one day, hundreds of people, just loving and serving our neighbors. Well, we've got 72 sites as of now, and we'll add to that. I think we'll get close to 100 or so. But we try to serve in 3 main areas. We look for places where we can serve where the most people in Columbia might benefit from it. So we serve usually at 2 or 3 schools. We serve at public parks. And then we also serve the nonprofits who are working in the lives of people all year long.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are working their buns off all. Can I say that?
You can say buns. You can say buns here.
They are. They're working their buns off all year long to help other people. So we like to just jump in and help them for the day. But the areas of serving that I most love are the homes. So we look for people who own their homes but really struggle to keep them up. And then we go in on a day and we help around their home. We make repairs. The mission of For Columbia really is just to love and serve our neighbors. There's no agenda other than we just want to get out of the 4 walls of our particular church, wherever you worship, and do what we think God calls us to do, which is love and serve our neighbors.
That is, I love that. And, so very simple.
Yeah.
And straight to it, which is really what we should be doing.
Right.
Serving each other and serving our neighbors.
Right.
But how do you find out about maybe somebody's neighbor who might need some work done in their yard or their home? How do you find those people?
Anybody can refer somebody.
That's amazing.
We're we actually just took it down from the site because we were close to finishing up identifying serving sites for this particular year. But we have a form on our webpage where you can just go in and refer anybody. So as a neighbor, you can love on your neighbor by referring them to us.
I love
and they
that.
get help. And frankly, every year we have at least one project site where the one day becomes like several months because you meet one of our neighbors they're living in a home that needs so much help. And I come away from those thinking, this is way beyond the scope of what we do. And how can I not help? So we end up finding a way to help.
Yes.
Every year. And it's happening more and more. And I think people are getting excited about that.
Yeah.
That's another part of what I love is that you just see people crossing paths that would never in Columbia cross paths otherwise.
Yes.
The nice thing about Fort Columbia is that if you want to serve just on the day, we make it so easy for you to just show up and do what needs to be done.
So I've served a few years at different sites, and it is nice to just walk up and they just say, okay, you do this, you take a bag and you do this. It's nice. So can anybody serve? How do you say I want to serve?
The serving aspect is for anyone.
Love that.
So our sign up is we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and then we do have a website. And so the volunteer sign up is there and anybody can join us. This year's date is Saturday, April 29th.
Okay.
You can serve morning or afternoon, or we love it when you give all day.
All right, so I want to show how easy it is to sign up because you can sign up from your phone, which is, what most people are going to do. Okay, so
do it now.
The magic of television. All right, so tell me where I go.
Go to forcolumbia.com. That's FOR.
Okay, and then I'm going to enter all my information, and I'm going to choose if I have any special skill sets.
Right.
Gardening or painting, of which I have neither.
We will not have you painting.
Don't. Not if you want it to look good. No painting. And then this will come to you, and then I'll hear back from you.
Mid-April.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll make sure that you know exactly where you're going and when to show up.
Okay.
And if you do have to bring something, that will be specified.
Okay.
But you shouldn't.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you see how easy that is. It's easy to sign up. We encourage you to do so. If you've heard about it at your church and you're like, oh, I don't know about that, sign up. If you don't belong to a church, but this sounds like something you might want to get interested in, then please, by all means, go to the website, forcolumbia.com, sign up. Sign up with your spouse, your partner, your friends, your family. Have your kids sign up with a group of their friends. It's always fun, and there's something for everybody to do, right?
Lots of family-friendly sites.
Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate
thank you
you
for
being
having
here.
me.
We appreciate you being here, and I sincerely hope to see you guys at this year's For Columbia, where neighbors will be out serving neighbors. It's what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us for this first episode of the Como 411. We hope these stories helped you feel more connected to the people in our community and inspires you to engage more with our neighbors. See you next time. See you next time.
That was really good.
It only took me 18 times.
That's the end.